Good evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Together with the Presidential Communications Office, we bring you the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news coverage from the People's Television, IBC, Philippine News Agency, Philippine Information Agency, and the Presidential Broadcast Service. I'm Joe Fernandez of Radyo Pilipinas. Welcome to Balitang Pambansa. Tonight's headlines. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. spearheads the distribution of cash aid and various kinds of assistance to typhoon-hit victims in Nueva Vizcaya, Isabela, and Pangasinan. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. hands out certificates of land ownership award and certificates of condonation with release of mortgage to agrarian reform beneficiaries in Isabela. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. directs government agencies to complete the construction of flood control projects, rehabilitate and review master plans for major river basins and dams to lessen the impact of calamities. 700 million pesos worth of assistance, programs, and services have been provided to recipients during the Bagong Pilipinas Servisyo Fair in Samar. The Department of Tourism vows to position the country as a global gastronomy hub, eventually becoming Asia's next tourism powerhouse. Heading into the weekend, the President and his working entourage of disaster response and social services surrogates began their trek to a number of provinces that comprise of his political bailiwick, the Solid North Bloc, for much-needed assistance and relief distribution tour, beginning with the province of Nueva Vizcaya. PTV's Kenneth Paciente has the full story.
Today, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. and his social services and disaster response surrogates headed north in the areas affected by the recent storms and typhoons. His first destination, the province of Nueva Vizcaya, which Typhoon Pepito battered and pummeled last week. The President brought cash assistance worth 50 million pesos from the Office of the President. According to him, these will help select beneficiaries repair their damaged houses and properties.
Bawat pamilya may sariling pangangailangan na hindi kasama sa food pack, hindi kasama sa medical kit, hindi kasama doon sa mga aming binibigay. Kaya magbibigay kami ng cash para doon sa mga naging biktima para meron silang gamitin para makabili kayo ng inyong mga pangangailangan.
In addition, the DSWD provided 2.5 million pesos under the assistance to individuals in crisis situation, from which 500 beneficiaries each received 5,000 pesos. The President also led the distribution of family food packs from the DSWD to 1,000 beneficiaries. He assured that the distribution will continue until the affected residents can return to their homes. The Chief Executive also emphasized the supply of family food packs will suffice through a whole-of-government approach and with the help of the private sectors.
Kaya't importante na sapat ang aming supply, patuloy ang aming pag-produce nito. Dahil nga, inaalala ko lagi, sa dami ng dumaan na bagyo, sa dami ng mga naging biktima, nahirap naman, maubusan tayo nito.
According to the Chief Executive, the Department of Agriculture is assessing the damage left by the typhoon in the province to prepare the necessary aid for affected farmers.
Hihilingin namin sa local government kung gagawa tayo ng listahan ng magiging farmer beneficiaries dahil kailangan natin bigyan ng assistance. Ang assistance, meron tayong cash assistance para sa mga farmer, para sa mga magsasaka. Meron din tayong non-cash.
He also inspected the bypass road in Bampang, Nueva Vizcaya, which sustained 15.5 million pesos worth of damage. The President ordered the immediate repair of the road and expressed his desire to make it more resilient to prevent future damage from upcoming typhoons. He also had an aerial inspection before arriving in the province to assess the damage brought about by recent typhoons. From PTV Manila, Kenneth Paciente, Balitang Pambansa.
Isabela Province, the country's corn granary, was hit exceptionally hard multiple times in 3 weeks by a streak of 6 storms and typhoons put together. But today, the province was hit by a much more welcome event, the President and his team bearing much-needed supplies and financial aid in kind assistance that PTV's Vel Custodio covers in this report.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. visited Ilagan, Isabela for the distribution of presidential assistance to farmers, fisherfolks, and families, following the consecutive storms and or typhoon that laid waste on the province. 10,000 pesos in financial assistance was handed out to 1,500 farmers in Isabela with the Department of Social Welfare and Development. The Department of Agriculture distributed seeds to help farmers severely affected by the storms. The Agriculture Department positioned seeds for major agricultural products in Isabela. The provincial government in Region 2 also received financial assistance.
Ang inyong pamahalaan ay lagi namang handa na tumulong at samahan kayong makabangon bilang karagdagang suporta sa inyong pagbangon. Naglaan po ng tigli 50 milyong piso ang tanggapan ng Pangulo para dito sa Isabela at sa Quirino Province.
Nagpapasalamat po kami sa kanya at kami ay na puntahan niya upang may bigay sa amin yung aming pangailangan na baha, nawala yung mga pananim namin po ma'am, yung mga puhunan po namin ma'am, wala po lahat yun ma'am, yung mga aming pinaghirapan ma'am sa kuna ng kalamidad na dumating sa atin po sa ating bayan po ma'am.
Mahirap ma'am dahil walang atira na pananim namin, saka nabaha lahat yung pan namin, yung area-arean namin. Kaya maraming salamat kay Pangulong Marcos sa pagdalaw dito at pagbigay ng ayuda.
Magat Dam's repair is underway. The flood control structures are being built, such as the Tumauini River Multipurpose Project. President Bongbong Marcos also visited Gabagan, Isabela for the distribution of certificates of land ownership awards and the certificates of condemnation with release of mortgages that practically voids and wipe out all the debts of agrarian reform beneficiaries on the land they till.
Mga kababayan, alam ko pong mabigat ang inyong iniinda. Ngunit sana hindi po tayo panghinaan ng loob. Hangad ko ang ating sama-samang pagbangon na puno ng pag-asa, pagmamahal at pagkakaisa. Muli, maraming salamat. Mabuhay po kayong lahat. Mabuhay ang Isabela. Mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas.
People's Television Network, Vel Custodio, Balitang Pambansa.
Today's multi-provincial tour of the Presidential Assistance to Farmers, Fisher Folk and Families in Need program made a stop in Pangasinan. In the financial assistance distribution, 5,000 pre-selected beneficiaries across 6 congressional districts of the province received 10,000 pesos each. PTV's Benji Durango has more.
Danny, a fisherman from Binmalay, Pangasinan, is nearing the twilight of his life. At 70, fishing in the local river has been his lifelong occupation. However, the past 6 typhoons have caused the river to overflow, washing away his prized samaral fish.
Kung sana hindi nakawala, maaring nandyan din, maka 200,000 din sana. Sa palagay ko, kunti na lang ang na ma-harvest ko.
Like him, the future Pangasinan's fisherman is now shrouded in darkness. A significant portion of the milkfish supply in Dagupan comes from here in Lingayen, the capital of Pangasinan. However, due to climate change, both fishermen and farmers are suffering in hardship. The rice seeds planted here are just starting to grow. Before they could fully recover from the effects of El Nino, they were hit by a series of typhoons.
Yung mga ari-arian nila, livelihood, yung mga alagan nila na mga hayop, mga livestocks, yung mga pananim, naapektuhan lahat yan.
Although the locals try to cope with these successive challenges, they continue to call for government assistance.
Mabigyan din kami ng pansin dito sa yung kalagayan din dito sa mga pispan namin dito sa Bimaloy na maobserbaan din sana kami dito.
The presidents responded to their plea and immediately went to Lingayen.
Galing po kaming Isabela, galing po kaming Nueva Vizcaya para tignan kung ano ang nangyari dito sa nakaraan na si Pepito na dumaan doon sa mga lugar na yun para tignan kung ano ang mga nasira sa ating infrastruktura at kung ano ang mga kailangan ayusin at baguhin.
The farmers and fishermen were heartened, including Danny, who was also included in the list of beneficiaries. In total, 5,000 beneficiaries will receive 10,000 pesos each. 50 million pesos were allocated to alleviate the suffering of the people here. the President assured one thing.
Sa harap ng unos, hindi tayo nag-iisa.
He thanked the first responders to the typhoon, who contributed greatly to Pangasinan having zero casualties.
Taus-puso akong nagpapasalamat sa ating mga first responder na hindi alintana ang panganib, masiguro lamang ang kapakanan at kaligtasan ng ating mga kababayan. Yan po, yung ating mga first responder, yung mga local na official, yung ating mga LGU executives, yung ating mga police, yung ating mga iba't ibang departamento ng probinsya at yung mga national offices na nandito sa probinsya na tumulong din sa naging first responder din. Ay maraming salamat.
For the provincial government, this is something they won't forget.
Itong pagpunta po ni Pangulo at makita po at maipamahagi itong tulong na personal ay isa pong tatanawin po namin ng utang na loob sa kanya.
Because of the President's help, Danny can start over.
Kahapon nag-uusap lang tayo, nananawagan ka, ngayon nandito ka, kasama ka sa listahan, ano masasabi mo?
Malaking pasasalamat ko sa matatanggap ko ngayon na ayuda.
At least the pain they felt doesn't hurt that much now.
Sa mahal na Presidente, maraming salamat.
From PTV, Benji Durango, Balitang Pambansa.
The government has provided over 700 million pesos worth of assistance, services, and programs during the Bagong Pilipinas Servicio Fair in Calbayog City, Samar. House Speaker Martin Romualdez led the program, which will run until tomorrow, and this marks the 25th BPSF Caravans launch in the country. And while it is the last for the year, the program will continue rolling out in 2025. Around 60,000 beneficiaries are expected to benefit from the caravan. Attendees will also enjoy a free concert. The House Speaker said the government will continue its efforts to provide aid program, the BPSF program, in line with the directive of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. to bring services and programs closer to the public.
Itong programa na to na Bagong Pilipinas, ito talaga ang pinag-isipan pa natin mga tagal ni President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Siguro naalala mo noong nangampanya siya. Parati siya naglilibot sa buong Pilipinas. At sinabi daw niya, bawal na maghirap ang Pilipino. Ayaw na nagugutom. Ayaw niya na nihihirapan ang mga Pilipino. Kaya dapat yung gobyerno, yung serbisyo, programa ng gobyerno, kailangan ibaba sa taong bayan. Kaya nandito po tayo sa Bagong Pilipinas Servicio Fair.
The Office of Civil Defense, or OCD, in partnership with the World Bank, will launch the Panatag Pilipinas campaign on November 25 in Quezon City. The initiative aims to improve disaster preparedness by providing Filipinos with essential knowledge and tools to respond to emergencies. With the tagline, "Alam ng Pinoy ang dapat gawin para maging ligtas sa panahon ng sakuna," the campaign promotes informed action through educational materials and partnerships, including support from campaign ambassador actor Ding Dong Dantes and key government agencies. The northeast monsoon is affecting the extreme northern Luzon. Based on Pag-asa's latest weather forecast, eastern Visayas, Caraga, and Davao region may expect cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms. Batanes and Babuyan Islands may also encounter cloudy skies with light rains. Meanwhile, Metro Manila and the rest of the country will experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rains, rain showers, or thunderstorms due to the easterlies. Some lawmakers call out Vice President Sara Duterte for allegedly breaching House protocols as she spent the night at the House of Representatives to visit her detained Chief of Staff, Attorney Zuleika Lopez. PTV's Rod Laguzad has the full details.
Disrespect for the institution. This was emphasized by House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability Chairperson, Representative Joel Chua, in response to Vice President Sara Duterte's continued stay at the House of Representatives beyond visiting hours. The Vice President visited her Chief of Staff, Attorney Zuleika Lopez, who was cited in contempt during the ongoing House investigation into the utilization of the OBP's confidential fund.
Lack of respect in the institution. Nakikita naman po natin na parang kung kailan lang niya gusto, kung ano lang ang gusto niya, yun lang ang gagawin niya. In fact, sinabihan siya to leave the office of Congressman Pulong, pero hindi pa rin niya sinunod.
Chua stressed that officials must be mindful of their actions as these reflect their character. He also noted that Duterte's presence as a high-profile individual posed a security risk for the lower house. According to House Sergeant at Arms Napoleon Taas, after the visiting hours, Duterte remained in her brother, Representative Paulo Duterte's office, even though the electricity supply was turned off after the office hours. Still in all, she stayed overnight. Earlier, Chua said the Vice President sent a letter requesting to stay with Lopez in detention, citing humanitarian reasons. But this was denied as she was not a detainee. When asked what steps would be taken if the Vice President continued to stay at the House of Representatives, the Sergeant at Arms said they would continue to appeal to her, noting that there is no penalty clause in their security guidelines.
Ang tingin naman mo namin, hindi nakakailangan yung ano na yun, na nakamakarating pa tayo dun sa magpapataw pa tayo ng parusa. Dahil lang sabi ko nga hospitable tayo, ang kailangan lang is magpaalam at tayo naman na mag-uusap. At malamang, mas madalas nga yung pinapayagan natin kaysa yung hindi.
The House leadership expressed concern over the Vice President's actions, emphasizing how the House of Representatives has its own rules and is not a place for anyone to abuse. The next committee hearing on the OBP's use of confidential fund is scheduled for Monday, the last day of Attorney Lopez's detention, as ordered by the committee. From PTV, Rod Lagusad, Balitang Pambansa.
Coming up, the Comelec eyes to enhance voter experience for vulnerable sectors and indigenous peoples' communities. The Tourism Department vows to make the country an international gastronomy hub. More stories when Balitang Pambansa returns.
Ako di ay si Mrs. Edwina Kulubong, nagpuyo sa Barangay Lutay, Malungon, Sarangani Province, isa sa mga agrarian reform beneficiaries. 1982, ma'am, nagsugod mi og panguma bilang usa ka tenant ug sa dihang nagpadayon na mi og panguma niabot ang agrarian reform murag dili unta gid ni musugot tungod kay hadlok ni ma'am within 30 years prisuhon imbis nga matigulang nami mag-agwanta ni sa prisuhan tungod kay ngano daw nga nag-assume mi og usa ka luna sa yuta nga wala man lang mi kabayad. Ang area namo ma'am is 2.7 hectares. Amo na siya ang natanuman og lubi ug nakuprasan na namo sa pagkakaron. Ang among gibati ma'am nga ihatag na ni President Bongbong Marcos sa amoa ang luna sa yuta. Dako kayo mga pagpasalamat tungod kay kung dili patungod sa iyang paghatag niya ng yuta ma'am, dili gid ni taon makabayad. Muna nga among gipasalamatan si President Marcos nga naabot sa iyang unahuna nga iyang ihipang hatag sa mga taong kabus. Amo gid lang gipasalamatan sa iya. Dako pud kaayo ang among pagpasalamat kang Secretary Estrella III nga isa-usab siya nga naning kamot nga matabangan in taon ang mga kabus nga mahatag sa amoa ang luna sa yuta. Kini nga maong yuta nga among naangkon ma'am sa agrarian reform, amo ni siyang atimanon kay para nga masunod pa kini sa among mga anak kumaabot.
Nursing is not the easiest job in the world. In fact, it's emotionally draining.
Huge step in the fight against COVID-19.
I truly believe in the things that I do because of where we come from, our resilience, our dedication.
A Filipino nurse administers the first COVID-19 vaccine, and her name is May Possums.
I gave my best and my heart. I am May. I am the Philippines.
The Canadian Embassy in Manila announced Canada is dispatching its biggest trade mission in the country to assist Canadian exporters and innovators in establishing presence in the local market, the Philippine News Agency reported. The mission, scheduled to take place in Manila from December 4 to 6, will be led by Canadian Minister of Export Promotion, International Trade and Economic Development, Mary Nang, and will include at least 300 delegates. The trade mission will concentrate on sectors where Canada has a competitive edge, such as agriculture and processed foods, clean technologies, clean energy, green mining, and nuclear, information and communications technologies, and infrastructure. As part of the preparations for the 2025 national and local elections, The Commission on Elections lays out initiatives to enhance the voting experience of the vulnerable sectors. Philippine Information Agency Soc-Sargent Harlem Ferolino has more.
The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, is bent on improving the voting experiences of vulnerable groups in society such as indigenous peoples or IP communities. COMELEC Assistant Regional Election Director Jose M. Villanueva encouraged the vulnerable sector to participate and vote in the 2025 national and local elections as COMELEC implements the nationwide early voting hours from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. for senior citizens, persons with disabilities, or PWDs, and pregnant women.
We were required to submit areas na may maraming mga kapatid natin na IPs. Tapos pagawan sila ng special precinct na sila lang mismo doon. And then, meron ding special lane for the senior citizen and heavily pregnant and PWDs during the elections.
Ang number one comment ko is dapat first na mapaghandaan talaga siya. Secondly, kung pwede, may dry run muna tayo before the election day. And then, dapat din i-orient mismo yung mga BEIs kasi it is very good that COMELEC has initiated such a program.
For the 2025 elections, the COMELEC will also mobilize ample support staff to guide voters requiring additional help. This initiative highlights the Commission's goal of fostering a more accessible and inclusive electoral process for all Filipinos. From the Philippine Information Agency Soc-Sargent, Harlem Ferolino, Balitang Pambansa.
To boost public health in Soc-Sargent, the Department of Health Region 12 has initiated measures to strengthen the immunization program across the region. Philippine Information Agency Soc-Sargent's Harlem Ferolino tells us more.
The Department of Health Center for Health Development in Soc-Sargent has recently launched the nation's first immunization coalition building to strengthen the immunization program in the Soc-Sargent region. Dr. Edvir Jane Montañer, National Immunization Manager of DOH CHD Soc-Sargent, explained that they have formed a coalition to involve sectoral groups to help eliminate zero-dose children, those who haven't received any or complete vaccines.
We will unite our stakeholders from the different government agencies. We have here representatives from DILG, from NEDA, from CHED, DepEd, and of course PIA and a lot more. And of course our academe, andito rin po sila. To provide technical assistance, financial and logistical support.
This multi-sectoral approach aims to strengthen immunization services by addressing misinformation, advocating for public support, and enhancing logistical and financial aid. In response to the call, the General Santos City local government has rolled out its school-based immunization program starting October until November to protect all children from any vaccine-preventable disease.
So sa ating bakuna eskwela po or the school-based immunization, tayo po ay magbibigay ng karagdagang protection sa mga bata po laban sa mga sakit na measles, rubella, tetano, diphtheria para po sa grado ng grade 1 at grade 7. At ganoon naman po sa grade 4 na mga babae po ay bibigyan natin sila ng HPV vaccine laban po sa cervical cancer.
The DOH strongly emphasized that vaccination is a community effort and urged parents to take advantage of free vaccines and healthcare services available at rural health centers. From the Philippine Information Agency Soc-Sargent, Harlem Ferolino, Balitang Pambansa.
The Department of Tourism, or DOT, has signified its commitment to making the country as an international gastronomy hub. According to DOT Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco, the country is set to host the prestigious and inaugural Terra Madre Asia Pacific, which will be held next year in Bacolod City, recognized as the Slow Food International Hub for Asia Pacific. Meanwhile, local government executives in Negros Occidental thanked the agency for its efforts in advancing tourism in the province. The Himala sa Buhangin Festival in Ilocos Norte not only offered a celebration of music and culture, but also provided a meaningful way for attendees to give back to communities affected by recent typhoons. Philippine Information Agency Ilocos Norte's Emma Guillermo has more.
The Himala sa Buhangin Music and Arts Festival brought not only fun, but also helped raise donations for typhoon victims through a donation drive and a fundraising activity on November 16 at the Poway Sand Dunes. The Provincial Social Welfare and Development Office led the collection of food and non-food items at designated drop-off points in the province. On the day of the festival, the Social Welfare Office collected 40 kilos of rice, 3 boxes of instant noodles, and bags of clothing.
Much of our profit, the little profit that we get, especially from the merchandise and the shirts, will go once again to our typhoon victims. We are cognizant of what's going on in our country. Nonetheless, we chose to continue Himala, and luckily enough, we were in between typhoons. We are in between typhoons. May Himala talaga sa buhangin.
Various local bands and OPM singers, including Sakta Budlo and Shanty Dope, serenaded the audience. Moreover, actors Francine Diaz and Seth Fedelin and social media influencers Queen Dora, Fokerat, Ernaline, Pipay, and Christian Antolin entertained the viewers. There were also daytime activities such as 4x4 race, sandboarding, beach volleyball, kayaking, sandcastle making, and art installations by local artists to promote tourism in the province. From the Philippine Information Agency Ilocos Norte, Emma Guillermo, Balitang Pambansa.
The TNT Tropang Giga forward Calvin Oftana hopes to continue their dominance in the Philippine Basketball Association. According to Oftana, he wants to lead his team and create history in for the next seasons to come after winning the title in the 2023 and 2024 Governor's Cup. Aside from his domestic success, Oftana has also shown brilliance as part of the Gilas Pilipinas national team competing in the 2025 FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. The 28-year-old player is looking forward to PBA's next conference and hungry for more success.
I want every conference na nandun tayo sa contender eh. We're a contender pero I want something na nandun tayo sa top palagi na parang we need to compete sa title every conference. Gusto ko yung mga ganung bagay.
And that concludes our rundown of the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news and information from all across the nation. This is your trusted news source, always ready to inform and serve the Filipino people. Catch Balitang Pambansa again next week at 7 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. for more updates and developments. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Joe Fernandez, and this is Balitang Pambansa.